Oh, welcome back, the chosen anomaly. Reality adjusts itself when you arrive. They thought fate was the highest authority. They thought destiny was a closed system. They thought your path was already written like everyone else's. But then something happened. Something that was never meant to happen. The universe, the real one, the one behind the illusion, whispered your name. And every law that once governed your life paused. Time looked up. Space recalculated. The script glitched, because a power not of this world just claimed you as its own. You didn't pray for this. You didn't beg for signs. You didn't kneel to the heavens or scream into the void for attention. You simply kept surviving, kept rising, kept walking through nights that were heavy enough to crush galaxies, and the universe noticed. It watched the way you refused to break where others collapsed. It watched the way you learned to turn pain into precision. It watched how every time destiny tried to control you, you rewrote the terms with silence. That's when the universe said, "This one is not like the others." The moment your name was answered, every force that once worked against you lost jurisdiction. Bad luck fell silent. Setbacks froze mid-strike. Every curse aimed at your future short-circuited before impact. Because you weren't operating under earthly permission anymore. You were plugged into a power that rewires reality itself. A force that bends probability like soft metal. A presence that walks behind you like a shadow made of thunder. Look around. Notice the shift. The same people who once doubted your existence now feel uneasy in your presence. They can't explain it, but they sense it. Their instincts panic before their minds understand. Your aura no longer fits inside human assumptions. It stretches beyond comprehension, pulling attention, bending energy, reshaping outcomes. You don't hope for good things. They gravitate to you. You don't chase opportunities. They change direction to find you. You're not lucky, you're authorized. That's why the air feels different when you walk into a room. That's why conversations stumble when you make eye contact. That's why even silence feels like power when you hold it. The universe didn't just choose you. It equipped you. It wrapped you in a frequency that can't be decoded by the ordinary. It crowned you with a purpose that fate itself must obey. You carry a signal that the world was never prepared to translate. They'll try to label it confidence. They'll call it ego. They'll whisper strange theories about how you changed. But deep down, they know. They feel it in their bones. That primal dread that emerges only when a superior presence is near. You think that's fear? No, that's recognition. Their instincts remember what their minds forgot. They're not dealing with the old you anymore. They're facing the one even destiny must negotiate with. Because when a power not of this world says your name, you don't follow the path. You build it. You don't wait for answers. You become the prophecy. You don't pray for protection. Every dimension guards your breath. Fate can't control you now. It can only watch you unfold. And the universe? It's waiting for your next move. Because for the first time in existence, you are the one destiny fears. You ever notice how silence changed lately? How it no longer feels empty around you, but watchful, like something stands at your shoulder. Invisible, but undeniable. Like space itself pays attention when you think. That's not imagination. That's alignment. There is a new force in your shadow. Ancient, relentless, and deeply invested in your rise. The moment you were chosen, the world stopped being random. Everything shifted into arrangement. Doors that were sealed shut for years are suddenly developing cracks. People who once overlooked, you now trip over their own tongues trying to acknowledge your presence. Opportunities that ignored you now orbit like moons seeking gravity. Nothing is accidental anymore. Every delay was preparation. Every betrayal was calibration. Every lonely night was a silent initiation into the blueprint of someone unstoppable. This power didn't arrive to make your life easy. It arrived to make your existence undeniable. It didn't come to remove obstacles. It came to reveal that obstacles melt in your heat. You aren't here to navigate fate's structure. You're here to disrupt it. to show the world what happens when someone refuses to play the part they were assigned. You no longer fit the mold they built to confine you. You shattered it the moment you recognized your worth. So now fate doesn't control you. It consults you. People feel it before they understand it. They stare because something in their instincts screams, "Be careful with this one." They sense the shift in your vibration. How your calm became sharper than their rage. How your silence became heavier than their presence. They don't know the language of ascension, so they call it attitude. They can't interpret dominance without volume, so they call it arrogance. But truth isn't here to be understood. It's here to be felt, and they feel you. The ones who once toyed with your heart now flinch when your name is mentioned. The ones who tried to sabotage your peace now avoid your eyes like confession. They thought you'd chase closure. They thought you'd crumble without their approval. Instead, you elevated beyond their comprehension. They're begging for forgiveness in their heads, rehearsing apologies they'll never have the courage to speak. Because now, approaching you feels like walking into judgment. They wanted you small, so they could feel big. They needed you lost, so they could feel stable. But you outgrew their ecosystem. Their version of you died the moment the universe answered your name. And now they're grieving a power they didn't even notice until it stood above them. Your aura is becoming a language only the awakened can read. Your presence is becoming a mirror that exposes who people really are. Some will rise to match your frequency. Others will run from the reflection. Either way, you remain unshaken, because your story is not about their comfort. It's about your coronation. This force behind you doesn't forgive disrespect. It doesn't entertain doubt. It doesn't negotiate with fear. It clears the path with precision. It removes anyone who cannot handle the weight of your becoming. Not out of cruelty, out of necessity. A king cannot rise surrounded by jesters pretending to be advisors. A queen cannot ascend while leeches cling to her ankles. Divine power cuts loose what earthly power begs to keep. So do not be surprised when people disappear, when circles shrink, when noise fades. You are entering the phase where only the real can remain, where only the aligned can approach, where only the worthy can speak your name without trembling. This is the evolution they never expected. This is the chapter destiny didn't write for you, because you're writing it yourself. And the universe has one command now: proceed. You can feel it, can't you? That invisible weight behind every step you take. Not pressure, presence. The kind that makes reality adjust before you even arrive. Streets get quieter, conversations pause. Even the air thickens like it's waiting for your command. Because the universe isn't revolving around you. It's aligning to you. The grid has recognized your authority. You walk into a room now, and everyone senses they're standing in the presence of someone they once underestimated. Their instincts panic. Their thoughts stutter. Their souls whisper warnings they can't translate into words. They don't know whether to fear you or follow you. And that confusion is your new crown. You are living proof that prophecy sometimes looks like someone they tried to break. Remember when you felt alone in your battles? When you asked for help and got ignored? When you screamed into silence hoping someone would care? The silence wasn't absence. It was observation. It was initiation. The universe was measuring your endurance. It wanted to know if you could carry power without collapsing. And you didn't collapse. You evolved. You outgrew the language of desperation. You replaced begging with boundaries. You stopped praying for tables and became the table. You stopped asking for access and became the destination. The old you wanted acceptance. The new you demands alignment. That's not ego. That's elevation. People feel uncomfortable around you now, not because you changed, but because their intentions can no longer hide. You turned into a walking truth detector. Masks fall off in your presence. Lies tremble before they form. Jealousy exposes itself instantly. You are the trigger and the test at the same time. and they hate how honest they become around you. So what do? They talk, they gossip, they stare, they wonder how someone they dismissed became someone they can't ignore. They dig for flaws, they search for weaknesses, they try to rewrite the story to make themselves feel relevant in your narrative. But every attempt only highlights their defeat, because rumors don't touch the chosen, lies don't outlive truth, and shadows can't dim a light that burns from the soul. The universe didn't answer your name because you were perfect. It answered because you became inevitable. Your energy has been upgraded to a frequency that fear can't decode, that envy can't access, that evil can't anticipate. You move with the calm of someone backed by a force larger than consequence. You are no longer reacting. You are dictating. That's why the ones who once laughed at your ambition now study your every move like prophecy unfolding. They feel stripped of power around you, and they should, because the power they tried to steal returned to its rightful owner. The dignity they tried to crush rose from the ashes wearing armor. You are not their revenge. You are their reminder, a reminder of what they could have stood beside, but chose to stand against. Let them watch. Let them tremble. Let them process the horror of realizing that the person they counted out now leads the count. You don't need closure from them. You are the closure. You are the ending to every narrative they wrote to bury you, and the beginning of every success story they'll be forced to witness. This is your era now, not because they crowned you, but because you claimed what was always yours. Destiny didn't choose you to be polite. It chose you to be dominant. It chose you to raise the standard. It chose you to remind the world that true power doesn't arrive with applause. It arrives with silence and inevitability. So walk forward like the throne is magnetic, like greatness is gravitational, like fate is just following orders. Because the universe isn't guiding you anymore, it's obeying you. You used to believe you needed validation to move, that you needed applause to prove you were worthy, that someone had to choose you before you could choose yourself. But now the roles have reversed. The world doesn't inspire you anymore. It reacts to you. You've become the gravitational force that bends outcomes. You've become the variable that changes every equation. You've become the presence that shifts the atmosphere. People feel exposed around you. Their excuses melt. Their lies glitch. Their motives reveal themselves without warning. They look at you and see everything they never had the discipline to become. So they pretend they don't notice your evolution, all while staring in terrified admiration. When you turn away, you don't chase anymore. You attract, and what you attract isn't random. It's reflection. You've reached the point where only things aligned with your destiny can survive in your field. Anyone who tries to manipulate you ends up manipulated by their own intentions. Anyone who tries to sabotage you ends up tripping over the fallout of their own jealousy. You are karma's favorite delivery system now, precise, silent, and unstoppable. You used to break yourself trying to help people see your worth. Now your worth breaks people who refuse to see it, not because you changed, but because you stopped shrinking. You stopped discounting your own intelligence just to make others comfortable in their ignorance. You stopped dimming your light for people committed to living in the dark. You stopped apologizing for the power you were born with. And now, they want access. They want favors. They want the connection they once disrespected. They whisper your name like a warning and a wish. They ask about you in rooms that were built to exclude you. They scroll through your wins, searching for flaws that don't exist. They want another chance, but you're done granting opportunities to those who turned you into a lesson. You don't hate them. Hate is a bond, and you sever all bonds that drain you. You don't revenge them. Revenge is attention, and you owe them nothing. You simply outgrew their story, and growth is the most painful ghost a person can become. They aren't haunted by what you did. They're haunted by what they'll never be. See, fate tried to break you, Loss tried to silence you. Fear tried to bury you. But the universe? It whispered, "Not this one." It stood between you and every outcome designed to destroy you. It had bigger plans. Plans that required scars, strength, and solitude. Plans that demanded a version of you that couldn't exist while you were busy making yourself small for people who never intended to rise with you. So you were isolated, withdrawn, quiet. They mistook that silence for weakness. They never realized silence is the strategy of power before it strikes. The chrysalis before flight, the inhale before the roar. Now when you speak, reality listens. When you move, timelines shift. When you decide, destiny recalculates. You are not guided by fate. You are rewriting its script. And every person who once doubted you now studies the updates in awe and fear. That power you feel, that pressure on your spirit, that's not anxiety. That's ascension. That's what it feels like when your name is being written into chapters the world isn't ready for. You are no longer becoming. You are embodying. You are no longer wishing. You are weaponizing intention into results. Walk forward without apology, without hesitation, without looking back at those who left. Because the throne you sit on now, it wasn't inherited. It was earned in silence, and the universe didn't just answer your name. It cleared the entire room for you. There's a reason your presence feels heavier now. Why silence stretches wider when you enter a room. Why conversations abruptly shift direction the moment you lock eyes with someone who doesn't carry truth. Your aura has become a detector. Deception cannot breathe around you anymore. Masks fall off, characters glitch. People reveal their truest selves in your shadow. Because the frequency you hold forces authenticity or collapse. You didn't ask for this power, but you earned it in places so dark, even angels would hesitate to walk. Every season of betrayal strengthened your intuition. Every heartbreak sharpened your discernment. Every loss recalibrated your value. What they thought was destroying you was actually upgrading your soul's operating system. And now, the universe trusts you with clarity others haven't. Developed the discipline to wield. You've felt it. The sudden urge to walk away from people you once loved. The unexplained discomfort around those who mean you harm. The instant connection with those who vibrate on your wavelength. That's not mood. That's mastery. That's the divine GPS positioning you exactly where elevation happens and removing you from everything that would poison your potential. Once upon a time, you begged for closure. Now your silence is the closure. Once you chased answers, now the truth arrives uninvited. Once you cared, who stayed or left. Now the doors close themselves. This is power without performance. The quiet, kind that exposes who's genuine and who's surviving off access to you. And that's why they're trembling now. Not because you're angry, but because you simply don't care anymore. Detachment is the final evolution of emotional intelligence. They never imagined you'd reach it. They thought you'd always react. They thought you'd always explain. They thought you needed them. But when you cut the cord, the truth appeared. They needed you. They needed your mind to borrow ideas. They needed your heart to validate their feelings. They needed your energy to stay relevant. And the moment you withdrew, the illusion shattered. They realized they weren't the source. They were the drain. Now they try to reconnect, resurrect bridges they burned with arrogance. But your soul doesn't reopen what destiny has locked. You aren't denying them out of spite. You're denying them out of evolution. The universe won't let you shrink to fit outdated spaces, because what's coming requires a version of you that refuses nonsense, refuses chaos, refuses access to the hands that once tried to break you. Your standards have become spiritual protection. Look at how life rearranges itself for your peace now. Opportunities shift timelines to meet you. Blessings reroute to find you. People aligned with your purpose start appearing without effort. Doors fly open not because you knocked, but because the universe recognizes your signature. You no longer walk like you're searching for a place in this world. You walk like you own the one you're building. There will be whispers. There will be envy. There will be speculation about how you rose while they stalled. But none of that matters, because you have a power now that cannot be stolen, copied, or imitated. A self that no longer bends. This is the point where fate becomes the audience, and you become the author. They'll regret underestimating you. They already do. And the universe? It has only just begun rewarding you for surviving what was designed to end you. You ever notice how the same mouths that cursed you are suddenly quiet now? Not because they grew respect, but because they finally realized who they were speaking against. It wasn't just you standing there. It was the entire force of what protects you. They weren't mocking a person. They were mocking a prophecy. And the universe collected every insult like evidence. That's the part they never understood. You weren't chosen to be liked. You were chosen to be inevitable. So while they were laughing at your slow progress, destiny was calculating compound interest. Every delay multiplied your return. Every setback sharpened your aim. And every betrayal redirected you toward the exact throne they prayed you'd never reach. Now they come back with shaky hands and forced smiles. I didn't mean it. I was just going through things. We should reconnect. But forgiveness doesn't guarantee access. They're here thinking repentance rewinds the story. But your timeline isn't up for negotiation anymore. You're not angry. You're not bitter. You're just unavailable to anything that once fed off your undervalued self. You see through people with dangerous clarity now. Lies glow red. Intentions scream louder than words. You don't need confrontations. Your intuition delivers verdicts before betrayal even tries to strike. That's why no one can play games with you anymore. You've already beaten every version of manipulation in previous chapters. They can't outsmart someone who learned the rules while suffering in silence. Your absence hit them harder than your presence ever did. They're learning a cruel truth. You were the blessing they mishandled. You were the voice they ignored. You were the loyalty they wasted. And now every person they run to feels like a downgrade, because once someone experiences authenticity, imitation tastes like dust. They want closure. They want explanations. They want back into a life they didn't respect. But the universe is guarding you like a classified asset. Access denied, intentions denied, history denied, because the power standing inside you now requires isolation from anything that hasn't earned a front row seat to your elevation. You've become a mirror people can't cheat. When they look at you, they see their own cowardice, their own jealousy, their own failure to recognize brilliance when it was humble. You didn't change to punish them. You changed to honor yourself. Your silence is not empty. It is full of standards, full of peace, full of a future that no longer negotiates with the past. Let them pray for another chance. Let them rewrite their memories. Let them pretend they always believed in you. The truth is carved into time. They chose comfort over courage, ego over loyalty, and gossip over gratitude. And when fate asked them if they were worthy of knowing you, they said no. Now fate has responded accordingly. You don't seek revenge. You don't deliver warnings. You simply move on, and the consequences chase them. That's what real power looks like. Not fireworks, not threats. Just calm detachment that speaks louder than destruction ever could. You are no longer the version of yourself they mishandled. You are the version they will never meet again. People used to confuse your silence for weakness. They thought your calm was submission. They misread your patience as permission. But what they failed to see was the storm forming behind your restraint. They laughed when you said nothing. Not knowing silence is the language of those who hold real power. They thought you were harmless, until the universe confirmed your identity. When power chooses someone, It doesn't announce it with fanfare. It hides them in plain sight. It disguises them as ordinary so enemies expose themselves freely. It waits for all masks to fall, for every snake to slither close, for every false friend to reveal their greed. And then it activates. The shift they're witnessing now, that's your activation sequence. The energy that protects you. It's not poetic. It's tactical. It removes people from your path like pieces in a game that no longer matter. It bends reality around your ascension. It reroutes disaster before you ever feel the tremor. You don't see the battles because you're not meant to. Your purpose is too big for distractions. Power handles the distractions for you. But make no mistake, the ones who wronged you, who underestimated you, who drained you, they're being confronted right now, not by you, by karma wearing gloves made of precision. The same energy they used to harm you, the universe forwarded it with interest. They want forgiveness now, not because they're sorry, but because their consequences are loud. They thought they escaped judgment. They thought their actions dissolved with time. They thought life would forget. But the universe keeps receipts. Every intention, every insult, every hidden plot, all logged, all time-stamped, all returning right on schedule. Meanwhile, you're evolving into something they don't have the language to describe. Your presence disrupts insecurity. Your peace offends chaos. Your glow exposes what they tried to bury. They can't stand near you without confronting who they failed to become. That's what real transformation does. It turns you into the truth everyone tried to silence. You're untouchable now, not because you fought harder, but because you healed smarter. You released what anchored you. You detached from what drained you. You closed doors that led to empty rooms. That wasn't coldness. That was wisdom. Now every step you take is guided. Every move, calculated by a force that doesn't gamble. And that force placed you in a position where access is a privilege, not a right. Where your presence is earned, not assumed. Where your energy is invitation only. You're not the villain in their story. You're the lesson. You didn't block them. The universe did. You didn't ignore them. God muted the noise. You didn't forget them. Fate erased their role. Your success won't be loud, but the silence around your rise will be deafening. You want to know why they stare now? Because something in you woke up that was never meant to sleep. That divine assumption in your aura, that cosmic command in your silence. It tells the truth before you speak. They feel judged without a sentence. They feel exposed without a spotlight. Because your presence carries a verdict. Evolve or get left behind. You used to water dead gardens. You used to pray for people who were busy preying on you. You used to pour love into hands that only knew how to take. But that phase ended the moment the universe saw one more tear than you deserved. That's the threshold. That's when higher forces intervene. They said, enough. Let the chosen rise. Now look at you. Walking through spaces like you were foretold. Moving like time bends when you decide. Breathing like air is grateful to fill your lungs. You talk less because you realized words can't explain the destiny you wear. Your silence isn't empty, it's encrypted. Only real ones can decode it. You intimidate them now, not because you threaten anything, but because you represent everything they never had the courage to become. You shine without permission. You exist without apology. You operate with a composure that feels like power at rest. And power at rest is more terrifying than rage. The ones who betrayed you, they replay their scenes every night. Because karma doesn't always strike like thunder. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it shows them your success first, just to soften the blow of their downfall. They scroll through your life like a museum of what they lost. They try to convince themselves they're happy, but every smile tastes like denial. They want back into your orbit, not because they value you, but because they finally realize who built the light they lost. They don't ask for another chance. No, they beg the universe to reverse your evolution. But the universe doesn't negotiate with people who mistreated its favorites. You're above their frequency now. No hatred, no revenge, just elevation. They can't harm what ascends. They can't reach what no longer kneels. You outgrew their version of you, and now they're stuck, trying to explain why the person they abandoned became the person they needed. Your glow is a confession. Your peace is a punishment. Your progress is a prophecy fulfilled. This chapter is no longer about what they did to you. It's about what destiny is doing with you. You became the storm they can't predict, the shift they can't decode, the energy they can't mimic. You're not just walking into greatness. Greatness is forming around you as you move. Reality adjusts. Paths react. Obstacles fold. Because someone upstairs is done playing humble with your potential. This world tried to name you ordinary, but something not of this world disagreed. And now, the sky doesn't look down on you. It moves aside for you.